Yo, we doing NFL playoffs, Lewis.
Insane. But okay.
You don't know how to do podcasts, bro? With the topic switch. Like, fuck is wrong with you?
I'm gonna use y'all line. Edit that out. You can just edit that out.
Oh man, niggas disrespect. I almost kicked this nigga off. Go ahead. What's the topic?
We're not editing. That's finna be its own clip. Fly want them to that's clickbait. Fly want them to circumcise dead bodies.
It's a medical procedure.
We going NFL playoffs or what?
Yeah, playoffs, man.
Yeah, all right, cool. Playoffs. See, Lee already did the shrug. All right, so we're gonna start.
Is the Giants in it?
We're gonna start.
They
are.
They are.
Oh, okay, Eli.
Eli.
You know what's funny? Daniel Jones looked close enough to Eli to where he wouldn't recognize like he probably think Eli's still playing if he saw Daniel Jones. So the playoffs kick off at 1:00 on Sunday. Well, no, actually start Saturday. I'm going to order the games.
Who up first?
The first game will be the Jaguars at home versus the Chargers. 8:00 on Saturday night. I don't know who I got in that game. I think I would say the Chargers, but the Jaguars just been having better momentum. I think Bosa and Keenan Allen both got hurt the last game with the Chargers.
I mean, when is Keenan Allen not hurt though?
When is Keenan Allen not hurt?
When is he not hurt though?
Keenan Allen could be like 10 places up in all receiving stats if he wasn't hurt. Like he would
honestly, you could also say that for the other half of the MAGA brother. Like,
yeah,
Joey also be hurt a whole lot.
He'll be hurt a lot. But the Jaguars definitely got a nice offensive line. They got a lot of weapons. The Chargers too, but I just feel like Jacksonville gonna do it for some reason. They got a better coach. That's the one thing. They got a Super Bowl winning offensive coach. Brandon Staley wasn't even smart enough to get his best players out the game, his best injury prone players, who Bosa just got off IR like 2 weeks ago. He didn't even have the presence of mind to get them out of a meaningless game in time. So that tells you where his mind is. Any other thoughts on that game, yo?
I have a quick question before we dive in. Who did Peterson win that Super Bowl for, Jordan? Just have to ask.
Next game we got on Sunday. I don't even remember. I don't remember much before 30
for the car accident.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy, man. I gotta add that I gotta tell my attorney about that.
No, actually, but in all seriousness, I actually think that we're finally starting to see the Trevor Lawrence that was supposed to be Trevor Lawrence when he actually came out of college. Like everybody thought he was like the third arrival of Christ. Now we actually see it.
And coaching matters, man. Coaching matters. He had a horrible coach who started out. He got a Super Bowl winning coach that he got the weapons. They did in the offseason what you're supposed to do for somebody you feel like has that potential. They got him the deep threat targets. They got him reliable tight end. They got him his old college running back, who I think Travis Etienne is one of the next premier backs. Like if you look at the teams he's excelled against, like number 5 rushing defense, averaging 6 yards a carry type shit. I feel like
somebody had a premier back. He was a sick nigga, man. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead. Talk about the premier backs. This nigga said he's a premier back. That's what they said. Ain't that what they said about Dwight Howard?
Shout out to Dwight Howard, man.
It's called Dwight Howard. Some wild shit.
We flamed Dwight Howard more than anybody else, and we only talked about him like one episode. Like it's crazy.
The Dwight allegations was sick. Sick.
Every time I think about what they said about Dwight, man, I die like it's the first time.
The white girl broke up with him and say, yeah, he be messing with too many people. And somebody was
I bet.
He ain't say
people
girls. And it was like, yeah. So Sunday, starting it off, I always like these kind of playoff games, a division rival. The Dolphins travel back to Buffalo to play them. I think the Buffalo Bills going to win, of course. The Dolphins got too much shit going on.
I'm still sure. I'm pretty sure they still don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, that's
Still.
part of too much shit. Yeah. They got Skylar Thompson or whatever, but in the playoffs, your quarterback matters. The things that got you through the regular season, like it's time where niggas like realize who they are. That all pro safety that's been playing like shit gonna come out and have 8 tackles, 2 for a loss, a forced fumble, and a deflection the first game. That's just how it goes. And you can't be the little that little engine that could shit only works for so long. So who you got, Flea?
Bills. I know that you said like this is a rivalry, but this ain't one of them rivalries where I just give a fuck about. As far as like, because the guy, let me be calculated. The talent, is here. Hell no. Yeah, so that's why I got the Bills.
Josh Allen versus Skylar Thompson.
Right.
I think it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet.
There you go.
Right. I will say, even though I think the Bills are winning, part of me is rooting for the Dolphins because I hate the thing where so early this year the Dolphins beat the Bills in Miami, right? And they beat them in the heat. They to the point where it's at the end of the game, Josh Allen is giving Tua a hug and he's exhausted, leaning his head on his shoulder. Pause. The next game, which is in a winter game, is like, oh, the Dolphins can't compete. A PI really sealed the deal in a close game in the cold. And it's like, oh, they couldn't withstand the cold. They scored 29 points. I just hate like that those fake ass narratives, but you don't take it anywhere when that cold weather team, was gassed in the third week of the season or whatever. But whatever. But yeah,
wasn't that first game the game that Tua like threw for 6 touchdowns or some shit? Like,
no, the first game is the one where he got that concussion and said it was a back injury.
Oh, when he kept the 55th Street.
Yeah. The crazy, that was the Ravens game where he went off for like 6 or whatever.
Yo, where'd that guy go? The 55th Street guy.
He got like 6 years in prison. He was like they was letting him put in work in the streets. I think that's wrong, personally.
Yo, the fact that you followed that, like you just know updates about his life.
Hey man, algorithms get fucked up. Somebody sent me a funny link, and then the next thing was like, oh, he got such and such in prison. I was like, I need to clear my history. The next game, the Giants go to Minnesota, 4:00 game to face the Vikings. I could see the Giants stealing a win.
Me too, because I don't trust Kirk. You just can't trust them in a big game.
Yeah. I got the Giants because they're from New York.
They're from New Jersey, actually, East Rutherford.
The Jets are from New Jersey. NJ, all right? Giants is from New York. Watch your mouth.
Yo, it'd be really impressive if Sealy can name one New York Giant right now, like on the current team.
Tiki Barber. Joe Juravicious.
That one shocks me. I don't think he ever played for the Giants. He just know that name.
Juravicious didn't play for the Giants?
No, he was a Brown. Of
course.
Yeah. I think he's a sad story because he retired the year before they won a Super Bowl. So he retired a loser.
Yeah, that was.
And he had like a 2,000-yard all-purpose carry season. Like he was in Hall of Fame trajectory.
Right. Great Madden player too.
Yeah, great Madden player.
Juravicious played for the Giants. He was drafted by the Giants. I know the fuck I'm talking about. That's when I used to follow football.
Bitch ass nigga. All right. Any other input, Flea? Who you got in that game?
I got the Vikings because y'all don't. It's that simple, and that's it.
Makes sense. Go against the grain. That's probably why you like white women. So like I said, the Giants,
because you like Vikings. Did you get the joke?
Yeah,
she's from Norway.
You got him a Slavic slut. So
yeah,
she's
built like Thor.
Let's talk about who you sent in the group chat.
All right, man.
One of the nastiest pictures I've ever seen.
You're not doing that, man.
Shout out to Killer Mike.
This nigga dropped Julius Peppers in the chat.
I didn't get what I was like, why is he talking about that guy like that? Like,
I didn't realize.
Don't he know we gonna say pause?
I didn't realize her profile pic was in the. Nigga said Project Pat. I don't even DM her because what y'all said.
But
that's disgusting.
I got the Vikings winning. They got better players. Like, yeah, you got
they usually do though. Like the Vikings always have like a real talented roster.
They really do.
And then Kirk Cousins throws 5 interceptions.
Yeah, but I also feel like at this point, it's just like we said about the play thing. Like Daniel Jones is just good enough. However, I feel like they're just better players on the Vikings. I don't see all those little good step up kind of players outdoing a Zadarius Smith or a Harrison Smith or you know what I'm saying. I feel like it could be like a 4 or 5 point game. But I got the Vikings.
But like Daniel Jones is just good enough, like you say. But Kirk Cousins can have that game where it's just ridiculous.
He could,
like, he be having them times like so. It's sporadic, but you know, Daniel Jones versus Kirk.
It's just never when it counts, though. Like Kirk can throw 5 touchdowns. He has the capability of doing that. He just doesn't do it when it matters.
That's fair.
We got to see what Jones made of.
Sunday night, the Baltimore Ravens go to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. The second time they play them back to back because they just played them yesterday. I got the Bengals, but it would be good to see the Ravens win.
It's gonna be a great game, probably.
Probably. The
great talents though.
What you think?
Is Lamar done, y'all?
He should be. He should be. He shouldn't. He should have got his money or not played. Like the line and he got game. The difference between a boy and a man. A boy thinks with his heart. A man thinks with his wallet. There's no reason he should have played this year, knowing they wasn't giving him no money.
This man. I mean, just today, they gave Roquan Smith a bag. Just today.
That he negotiated on his own and made him the highest paid ever at that position.
Correct.
And to that I say, it's a sign of how some teams still be married to their philosophy that kind of hasn't gotten them anywhere. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed is the definition of that franchise. Then you get the Jonathan Ogden and then Joe Flacco somewhere, but it's always been defense, and then they pay a defensive player. And there's no teams that recently have had success with a high-paid linebacker. High-paid corner, sure. High-paid all-time great pass rusher, probably. But linebacker, nah.
And more to the point, they paid someone they got in like the middle of the season. 6 weeks ago. And Lamar, your franchise quarterback with an MVP, is still not paid. Like, that's kind of insane.
What you think, Flea?
Yeah. As far as the game go, I might got the Bengals. Also, if I look back at how the Bengals was last season, in the playoffs especially, I don't even understand, silly, with that.
If I look back, it's nasty.
Niggas say nostalgia gay. If I look back at last season, it's like I see what they could do in the playoffs, and I see Burrow, and then Lamar. It's like Lamar, even though he's great, he's a great quarterback. It's like you can focus in on him. Like with other quarterbacks, it's like, all right, I got to focus on you, but I also got to focus on these receivers.
Yeah.
With Lamar, he's one of the rare quarterbacks where he's the target. He's the dude. So I think when it comes to the playoffs, I might go Bengals, but yeah, I want the Ravens to win that.
Yeah. I to add more, like I said, I think the Bengals could win. The thing with them is like they weren't smoking everybody last year. They had some close games. It took them they was 19-16 versus versus the Titans, where Joe Burrow only threw a pick, no touchdowns. Excuse me. And the Bengals he hasn't done great against the Ravens this year. So it's possible they might, make something happen. But I just feel like it's too many weapons, too many at their best. If it's a game versus a game, the Bengals players, nope. Jamar Chase, a top 5 receiver. T. Higgins is top 10. They're well, as they say, pause if applicable. They're a well-oiled machine. They got chemistry.
They lubricated.
Hey, do me a favor. Turn out the light and then put a black light on that towel behind you.
All right, man, relax.
Nigga straightened up.
You see, he stopped giggling. So, but I think the Bengals are gonna pull it off. However, I think that'll be the game towards if it come down to the last 5 seconds or so, it's gonna be that one. I also forgot a game that, depending on how you look at it, is probably forgettable. The Seattle Seahawks versus the 49ers. The 49ers. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, I've been rooting on the Seahawks downfall. I'm rooting on it because although Russell Wilson is washed, I hate this narrative that, like, I say all the time, they lost that last Super Bowl after he gave him a lead, and the Legion of Boom that have been talking shit about him forever let Tom Brady score 2 touchdowns. All right. And then, he threw a pick. He didn't, they drew up a pick. They drew up a play for him to throw to a return specialist against the greatest defensive mind of all time. All right. He threw the pick, and I'm not absolving him of any kind of blame.
He's a bit of a mystery player on defense. He's more mystery player at the time on defense, but yeah.
I also feel like you're being a little disingenuous because we're talking about Tom Brady. Like you saying, like Brady scored 2 touchdowns. It's Tom Brady.
Like 28-3, nigga.
It's 4 All-Pro DBs.
Well,
I'm not saying he did it against. Yeah, it is Tom Brady. Who's
Tom Brady? Tom Brady beat the Falcons in a quarter and a half. Like,
who's on that Falcons team right now? Everyone in that Seahawks secondary had a 4-minute highlight reel, man. They were all pros. At some point, all of them had a max contract. That's my point. It's not like I referred to them by their nickname, the Legion of Boom.
I understand.
That's my point.
But if anybody is gonna carve up an all-pro defense, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah, it is Tom Brady. I'll give him that. But I just hate how they act like, oh, Russell Wilson was the problem. Like, the downfall was y'all losing that Super Bowl.
I think people mostly blame Pete Carroll. Actually,
yeah, that's Pete Carroll's fault.
Yeah, the Russell Wilson.
I think the realization is Pete Carroll's part of the blame. But like every time this year, Tyler Lockett, they win a game, he throws a shot at Russell Wilson at like week 6 for what? You probably don't even know how Tyler Lockett sounds because he's such a quiet dude. But shots have just been thrown that much. Pete Carroll's going on. Pat McAfee hitting that. Everyone's happy because they don't like run. So it's a little thing. But also, I feel like they've been trying to.
Yeah, as a team, is like a cult though. Like, that it's very easy to turn a locker room against one player that you hate.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's kind of like why, like, I don't, like I said, he was too, but they've been acting kind of funny. But I think the 49ers is going to take that clearly. What else is next? I
feel like Geno's success has to run out at some point. Like, he's been a prolific backup quarterback his entire career. Like, this one outlier season does not erase 10 years.
Man, I thought Marcus Mariota was gonna have this type of run. I've been still holding on to the Mariota flag, but
and the last game, the Cowboys go to Tampa on Monday night to face the Buccaneers. Who y'all got, fellas?
First off, that's got to be scary for you as a Cowboys fan because it's like you still playing Tom Brady. It's like that sucks.
Yeah, no, I give that like as honest as a non-biased fan. Like if y'all want to give me the floor to talk about my team, on paper the Buccaneers should beat the Cowboys. I learned today about a stat that the casual fan is like, what does that matter? I think we're like 1-7 or some shit on grass versus artificial turf where we be killing shit. Our point per game dropped significantly. Our pass, a lot of like elements of the game, like how you pass rush, how you move on certain, how you take off out of your stance to get past. All of that shit plays into the field element. So I will say performance dropping is noteworthy because where we going at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium, like that is the type of field that we aren't as great on. So that matters there. It is Tom Brady. I think we're a 3-point up favorite, but I'll say this too. This year, it's been the worst year Dak has played ever. Clearly. In the beginning, I was like, you know what? He's throwing picks. He missed 4 games. And as an unbiased fan, you got to say, all right, those early season wrinkles that everyone has to iron out, he was ironing out in week 6, 7, and 8. But then it got to be a pattern. And I blame him, but I blame coaching too, because behaviors are based off of coaching. The fact that he doesn't throw the ball out of bounds, that goes to what you're taught essentially. And the fact that right after the Jaguars game, McCarthy came out and was like, no, he's got to keep firing. That let me know they telling him to take advantage of every target. However, the Buccaneers defense this year hasn't been the Buccaneers defense that we have thought they were in the past couple of years. Just looking at, and I want to be recent, just looking at the last couple games, they had a overtime game against the Cardinals with Chase McSorley, where I'm a better. I think both like his passing and rushing lines, he like obliterated. Sam Darnold got 24 points up against them. They lost to the Bengals, but it's the Bengals. They got smoked by the 49ers. They won 17-16 against the Saints. The Browns took them to overtime. Huh?
Nigga studied the fuck out this game. This nigga pulled out the stat sheet.
I feel like
I want to sound like
he knew the Dallas slander was coming, so he had to.
The whole shit laid out
on the way. Like, and I slander him first because one thing I think about is the Buccaneers running game has been horrible, but our run defense has been ass a lot of times. We've come up with key stops, but consistently it's blank. However, they got injuries. We don't. I do feel like at our best, our team is better than theirs. When they win, when they have a crazy performance every time this year, it's been like, see, they still somehow got it. But for us, there's been moments where like, cool, now what? Like we expect this out of you. So I got us winning in a game that probably would make people say, all right, that's your only win this year. I say we win like, I don't know, 24-21. But I got the Cowboys winning.
I'll say I wanted to like talk about a point that you made about coaching Dak don't throw out of bounds and shit like that. When a man makes $42 million a year, you have to throw the ball. Like it's the same slander that Russell Wilson got in that game when they kicked the field goal instead of putting the ball in a $200 million quarterback's hands. You know what I'm saying? Dak has to play, and he almost has to do that to prove he was worth the money he asked for. Mm-hmm. So I understand why the interceptions are happening, because he has to keep throwing the ball, because coaches is like, nah, you're not making $42 million a year if you're not going to make plays when we need you to make plays. So he can't find anybody open, outside of CeeDee Lamb and the fake CD. That's what I call Noah Brown, fake CD. I don't know why you've forgotten about Gallup. Like I just don't understand why you signed a man to a contract and not throw the ball to him. But then you have the stuff that you're saying about the grass and stuff. It does affect the running game, and that's really where the Cowboys are like elite. Pollard and Zeke can literally get the job done. But at the same time, this is also the worst version of Tom Brady we've ever seen in 20 years. So, we haven't seen our entire lives growing up. We haven't seen Tom Brady look this bad. So he actually looks 45. So this is a very beatable Buccaneers team, but this is kind of the game that Dallas would lose, though.
This is the perfect team for him. Sorry to cut you off, Lee. Mm-hmm. It's the perfect team for him to face, because the reason nobody likes Tom Brady and the reason we have to admit he's the GOAT is because when people play them, there's always a moment where it feels like nobody remembers how to play football. Things happen against Tom Brady teams that you go, D Ford in that AFC Championship game, Patrick Mahomes' first year, he would not have jumped off sides playing any other quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Those middle, that slot receiver that got signed 2 weeks ago, getting open in the middle of the field for a 35-yard gain with a minute left, that would not happen for Justin Herbert or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like when I say throwing it away, no, definitely you got to make those plays. What I mean is like there are plays where he's forcing it where it's like, dude, you can afford to throw it out on 2nd and 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
of course,
I don't think he's thrown the ball away at all this year. He's like, throw the ball. Absolutely. At one point this year, Dak had averaged the most air yard per completion. So I think personally, he was trying to get rid of the dink and dunk label, and he did to an extent, but he was at those moments, he wasn't taking a safe play. But Flea, what you got to say about the game, bitch nigga?
All right. This nigga brought up the grass and shit. Like, come on.
Hey, I told you I had to be unbiased for my team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you show clear bias. Like, if we lose the grass, the grass was the way the sun he sets in the west. Like, shut the fuck up. They did.
Yeah.
The Cowboys versus the Buccaneers.
You know the way the sun set because you lived outside your whole life. Fuck nigga. My fault.
Okay, cool. No, the Cowboys and Buccaneers.
It was chilly in them winters, nigga. Wasn't nothing cool about it. I'm sorry.
This why niggas knocked your motherfucking car off the road. I see you.
Damn.
I hope the nose swelling go down, nigga. No. I think with the Buccaneers and the Cowboys, it's funny because it's reasons I hate both teams. I don't seriously hate the Cowboys. It's just I like to see them fail, but as players, I don't want to see them fail. Buccaneers, I want to see Tom Brady fail, which is great. And you're right. Whenever people play Tom Brady, they lose ability. It's like he's like football's DNA. Like whenever somebody in front of him, it's like they should clearly beat him. But how did you forget how to do your profession like this?
Or when did you pick up this skill? DNA will have a crazy gun bar. Like why is this guy making a one-handed catch against the greatest safety in the league right now? Like
so I think like I said, it's terrible for the Cowboys to face first time because if anybody loses in the first round, the Cowboys feel it the worst losing in the first round because everybody hate them. I might go Buccaneers though. I think when they get close, Dak might do some stupid shit like he's done in the past. And Tom is not gonna do some stupid shit. But I hope the Cowboys win because I hate Tom Brady more than I hate the rest of these things.
Which I think if there's ever a week for anybody to not hate the Cowboys, it's this week. You don't love to there's no way you love seeing it. And Louis, sure, because you're an Eagles fan. I hate the Eagles fan more than anything. Like I said this before and I meant it. I hope a 90-year-old Eagles fan died on Christmas Eve and the last thing he got to see was us winning. I really hope that happened to him.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? I hope his granddaughter didn't get to make it to the hospital. I don't want nothing good to happen to no Eagles fan. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying?
And he hopes Gucci don't pay for their funeral.
Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, I hope Gucci man don't pay for the funeral either. But or ARF. But free him. But I'll say bro, at some point you gotta say the guy that's been terrible. Why would you want the guy who's been winning for so long in the most bullshit ways to want to win over we could just be Cowboys fans as a unit for
I'm literally in the worst decision-making mindset for this game because I hate Tom Brady.
Stop putting syrup on your sandwiches then. Oh my bad. I'm sorry.
See now it took the thunder because I was cooking up a joke, man.
I'm sorry.
It's all good, brother.
You say you made bad decisions. Stop deep frying your ham sandwiches.
Keep in mind, silly fat too.
Facts, right? Yeah, with his one fish, two fish.
Nigga, I see the collar on his shirt. I know he fat.
The only thing separating Silly from Lewis is a missing tooth. If he get that tooth, he gonna get Lewis weight.
The difference is one of us has had a rag wiping sweat from their neck and the other one is not.
You don't have pores.
That's the difference.
That's the issue.
That's the difference.
You don't have pores. You would be sweating too if your pores weren't clogged with bacon.
Niggas having the fat off.
You got a double chin, but it all became one. And that's when you've transcended. You feel me? You can't even differentiate between the two chins. But now, y'all go ahead. What y'all talking about? Football?
Chile, you still sweating from selling plasma 3 hours ago. Like, hey, relax.
You sitting in one of them chairs from Walmart. You got one at home.
Get the fat niggas to fight against each other. It's only entertainment for the people watching. So.
Right. This ain't fat phobia or nothing like that.
It's not, man.
Yeah, we both, man. We both fat. It just I don't get out of breath. I get out of breath maybe 2 minutes after him.
Yes, it's at least 60 seconds at the very
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna be a couple steps ahead of him. Woo! So that's the difference.
All right, y'all. What's the next topic we're gonna discuss, fellas?
Something going on in the
NBA.
Get your camera together, nigga.
Yeah, the shit crazy right now. Yeah, disconnected, but yeah.
I see you kept trying to do.
No, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. Y'all ain't catch it. I put my hand on the camera to refocus it or whatever, and it got the ashy crease of my finger right here. And oh my god, like that. That shit would have really, because I'm peeling because I've been using the lotion to get the callus off from the gym, and man, that would have y'all would have roasted me for 40 minutes.
That's literally what you get for having a Magnavox camera. Like, that's not even the legit brand anymore. Okay.
Yeah. That means a lot coming from the Hashitashi 2000. So, in the NBA,
did you say he